into session at 10:29. We have one item for legal updates. We have Friends of Lake County Library. Yesterday they came before us. Melanie has already put together a letter of support. Thank you, Melanie. I actually signed it, but I don't know if you guys have critiqued it yet. If you guys, so thank you very much for putting that together. They didn't ask for any specific funding. I mentioned with Jake yesterday, maybe that goes along with the juvenile department, youth investment type things. Just touch base with him just a little bit. He believes that he could possibly come up with some money there. But I guess what maybe we ought to do is, if we wanted to contribute, well, the number I'm thinking of is $500 from the county. Basically, make that motion, and if it fits that department, I think it's very good for the public to know that our juvenile side supports that. If the funding isn't there, then we find the funding someplace else and still do the $500. But without being able to set down, but he's 90% sure that we'll do the fund.
Very supportive of it. I mean, it's our kids today is our leaders tomorrow.
Yep.
That's what we can do. And that has an economic impact.
Oh,
Connotation to it also.
well, and my connection with the juvenile department and everything is from 0 to 5. That's an impressionable time that keeps them from end up in the juvenile system later on. So, anyways, so I think I feel I can make a motion. I'd like to make a motion.
Before you do?
Yes, sir.
I was thinking 1,000, and I was thinking, we had talked to Jake, I was thinking 500 out of economic development, which is where we'd get it if Jake didn't have it. It'd be a $500 donation if we weren't able to come up with.
So I'm not so you're thinking.
I'm thinking $1,000 if we have some juvenile money that can go towards it, and 500 of that 1,000 would come out of economic development, simply because that investment in those youngsters will return financially to us.
I like it when things grow.
Yeah,
That,
and it's 40 students. I mean,
so I'll let you make the motion.
Well, go ahead and make it with the 1,000. I just wanted to have that. discussion. I was a
Okay.
little slow and jumping in.
Hate to ask before the motion, but I think I see concur down there. I'll make a motion that we support the Friends of Lake County Library, Dolly Parton Imaginary Library, a contribution of $1,000 to absolutely be determined, but right now it is 500 out of the video lottery dollars and 500 out of Jake's in the juvenile side.
That's up to 1,000, depending on where we can get the money.
Yep.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. That's a very good thing. Okay, so now we need to get legal counsel on the phone, please, Mel. Or you want me to do it?
Yes, please.
Is it 9,000?
9,000.
Yeah, here's one there.
Is it executive session?
Legal updates to
Legal
start
updates,
with.
yeah.
Way too noisy for you guys.
No, that's fine.
Bailey, hello.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Brad Winters. We're in session, and Mr. Bailey's expecting a call from us.
Oh, yes, hold on one moment.
Thank you.
He has to change the elevator music.
I sort of like it.
I feel like the elevator's about to
It
go.
could be. What band played Born to Be Wild?
I don't know, but that's not it.
Morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mr. Bailey. We're, all three of us hit you. We're in session, so we're just down to legal updates. So do you have anything for open session?
Have you mentioned the policy on surplus property yet?
Not at all. I give it just a short little thing. I've been working with legal counsel on a way to liquidate some of this, I hate to use the word garbage, but surplus stuff, so that we can just get rid of it instead of storing it every place. Jim's got a draft put together, and I've been working with Dave Berman because it seems to fit his department. So not ready to act on it today, but maybe you can give a little bit of overview other than that, Jim?
Sure, just a couple of things. I checked with other county council about this, and everybody does it differently, and that means that probably a lot of people are doing it wrong, because some folks just let their employees walk through the room where there's surplus property, and if they want it, they get it. Other folks make an announcement to the public. It's all sorts of variations, and as a result of that, my conversations with them, it's obvious that the concern is you want it to be fair so that the public in general doesn't feel like they're missing their chance because you're favoring employees, and you don't want to shut employees out and that kind of thing. So we've come up with what I think is a pretty simple policy, the details of which I sent a draft to Brad. But the point is, we're trying to create something that's simple, that allows everybody a chance who's interested to take a look at it. They get a lottery number basically, and they'd be able to walk through and, you know, in order of their random selection and pick one item and that kind of thing. And then we'll be done with it. And that way nobody can claim that they didn't have a chance or that somebody got favoritism in some way, and eliminates any possible problem. And this all came out of a recent problem we had about someone claiming that an employee got to grab surplus property. So we're making sure everything's above board and nobody complains. So that's in the works, and we should be able to bring it forward by the next meeting. So.
Well, Mr. Bailey, this is Dan. I like the lottery idea. That, I think, does simplify it.
Yeah,
Yeah. My idea is to do, go ahead.
well, we just, we have to have the person here that whenever something is surplus, that it, I think we need to make sure we have somebody that documents it is of no value or it's depreciated out where it's of zero value to protect the county. So on our side, other than the policy, we need that documentation, I believe, Jim, so that we don't have the public come in and say, well, that was actually worth $500 and you gave it away for free. We need to be able to document that has been depreciated out, if that's the case, or it is no longer a value.
You're right. That we should do that internally. The draft that I have is the policy that basically would be announced to the public, but internally we certainly want to make sure that the property that's given out is not beyond a certain value, because otherwise we'd sell it. So
Yeah. So that's what where I haven't brought it to the Board of Commissioners. I believe it probably falls in our facilities person's purview. I'm getting.
Well, I thought we already had something in place. I mean,
We
minimum
do.
value, then.
We do for anything at 15, you've done one policy, Jim, we done one policy of $1,500 or less that we could get it to other entities, but we don't have it for surplus property that is of no value.
We did that for the school districts and different things for used computers and so on and so forth.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is coming
Right.
all the way down to the,
To the paper clips.
yeah. So, thank
Yeah,
you.
you know, the thing is, like, we might have decided to replace desk chairs or something like that, and there might be a chair that's just perfectly fine, but it causes back problems for one person, and nobody else wants one. So you want to get rid of it, and somebody says, well, I'd love to have that computer chair at my house. You know, it's not worth anything because it's 5 years old, but, you know.
And the last things we've run into is we're getting some departments cleaned out is file cabinets that are dated, not of the right size today, but some private sector people.
So Mr. Bailey, we still need to make that happen when we meet in Paisley or sometime again. You need to come by my house when you say 5 years or older, it's not worth anything. I don't have anything that's newer than 40 years old.
Your net worth
I'm starting to feel pretty,
Well, my question, Commissioner Shawn, is how much of that is county property?
zero.
Okay, well, Jim,
You know, I can't account for sentimental value.
Hey, it's functional value.
There you are.
Yeah. Got your point, though.
But I am a strong proponent of making sure, I mean, the property is purchased by public funds and the public needs to have access.
yeah. So-
Right.
So, okay, Jim, thank you for that, and I have mentioned it to Dave, just haven't been able to really touch base with him with detail. And I haven't talked to Jay in detail for the documentation side of it or anything either. But if the Board of Commissioners sort of agree that it should land in that department, then I will push it for the next meeting. Okay, thanks, Jim.
And that's everything for open session. We've got one thing for executive session, and it probably would be helpful if Jay comes up there, so.
I'm here,
Jim.
Jim.
On the phone, or we can.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
here.
he's there, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna change the sign. Your job, he's doing it today.
Oh, okay.
And
so-
while
Is
we've
he
got
wearing the proper,
he did it really quick, but while we got a break in the action, either we need to give you a raise or you need to not be as tight and you need to change your elevator music.
I'll record something personally, how about that?
Okay.
Let's
thank
not.
Okay,
So,
so,
the ukulele?
so we're gonna go into executive session under 192.6602H, is that correct, Jim?
Correct, H.
Those remaining is the Board of Commissioners, Administrative Assistant Melanie, HR Director, Business Department, Jay Collins, and the press, are you Stan? And you're Gag. We are now in executive session.